Media. We all know what this is. Media is the communication outlets that are used to store and deliver information or data to a large number of people. Our current society relies on social media to get information about what is happening around the world. Media is also used to tell stories like in movies or television shows. However, media does not always display accurate representations of women. Early television sitcoms displayed a significant amount of misrepresentation of people of color. This is evident through the use of redface, blackface, and yellowface. Redface depicted Native American men as savages and Native American women as sexualized. Blackface was mainly used to depict African American males in a racial, stereotypical manner. Yellowface was utilized to make fun of the Asian culture and their accents. The misrepresentation of women then took the form of the damsel in distress and the woman incapable of making decisions on their own. Next, women were being portrayed as sexual objects. Women were overly exposed and portrayed as prized possessions, with men having power over them. This sexualized depiction in media is true for all women. White women are portrayed as sexual objects, but women of color are represented in this manner in a more aggressive way. Furthermore, there are stereotypes associated with the sexual display of women of color. We will walk you through the sexualized portrayal of women from Latin America, Asian, and African descent. Latinos are viewed as sexual objects throughout TV shows, movies, and magazines of the past. Their bodies are shown in these forms of media. This is evident through their clothing, or lack thereof, that they had to wear in cinematographies and magazines. Latinos in these media forms will wear clothing that revealed their curves. This form of attire was used to convey the message that Latinos are promiscuous. There are also other stereotypes that were associated with Latin American women in these media forms. They were depicted as sassy and loud with a quick temper.
There you go again, hablando de esa vieja otra vez, después que dijo que no iba a hablar de ella. ¿Con qué le sirven esos ojos de estúpido que tiene? Time's a wet firecracker can pop just as good as a dry one.
Que me hayas hecho esto enfrente de... No puedo creer que me hayas hecho esto, maldito gringo loco, enfrente de toda la iglesia.
These stereotypical and sexualized representation of Latinas in media made them be viewed as inferior. There has been a slight change in how Latinas are portrayed, but there are still these kinds of depictions in media, like Sofia Vergara's character in Modern Family.
How about I take you out?
Honey.
She's so upset that she hasn't even had time to apply her makeup or use her computer. Hey, where is the car? I parked it here.
It's a tow zone.
Somebody just put that there because that wasn't here when I parked.
Hey.
No, it's not fine. I'm trying to have a real conversation and all you do is put me on a pedestal.
Asian women were seen as exotic in media because they weren't from the United States. The depiction of them as exotic was mixed in with portraying them as a fetish and infantilizing them. This portrayal was viewed as the Dragon Lady.
The dragon you will ever meet. She'll devour you like a cat swallows a mouse.
My vengeance is inspired. What is your hate against Allah?
Asian women were portrayed as submissive. This submissiveness was portrayed through the interactions that Asian women had with white men. This depiction viewed males fetishizing Asian women, which is coined by the term yellow fever. Fetishizing a group of people devalues them because they are seen as a goal to obtain instead of being viewed as a person. The 1960 movie The World of Susie Wong depicts a British man falling in love with a Chinese prostitute. The body of the character Susie Wong is the center of the movie as well as her sexuality. Charlie's Angels is a movie about 3 female detectives solving cases, but their body is a prominent part of the movie. The women wear outfits that reveal their body, and this is evident in the character played by Lucy Liu. Lucy Liu is also a lawyer in a TV show, Ally McBeal. The depiction of an Asian female lawyer is a strong improvement from previous depictions of Asian women, but she is also portrayed with a strong sex drive. African American women were associated with the Jezebel stereotype, starting in the 19th century. They were depicted as sexual objects that had a hypersex drive. This depiction of a hypersex drive also made them be depicted as masculine because their sex drive was thought to match the sex drive of men. This depiction stems from the misconception that white slave owners had in the past. They viewed the monogamy that some Africans practiced and the lack of clothing as African American women having a strong sex drive. They were viewed as someone that would fulfill any sexual desire. The movie Coffee depicts an African American woman that wears revealing clothing while going undercover to get revenge on the people involved in her sister's death. A similar representation is seen in the 1973 movie Foxy Brown. In the movie, an African American woman goes undercover as a prostitute to get revenge on the people involved in the death of her boyfriend. This portrayal of African American women illustrates the misconception that African American women use their sexuality to get what they want. In Monsters Ball, Halle Berry plays a widower who is sexualized in her interactions with the man that killed her husband. In conclusion, the ways in which women of color have been depicted in media has changed over the years. Women of color are now able to attain roles that do not focus on the construct of their body. They are able to have dynamic characters in media that have goals and ambitions. This more positive representation of women of color in media is seen through TV shows like How to Get Away with Murder, Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, Being Mary Jane, and Insecure. These TV shows display women of color in careers and display their challenges in their pursuit to achieving their goals. How to Get Away with Murder's Viola Davis, an African American woman, playing as a lawyer. Grey's Anatomy has Latinas, Asians, and African Americans acting as doctors. Scandal has Kerry Washington, an African American woman, playing as a media consultant to the President of the United States. These TV shows show the progress that is being made over the years in the way that women of color are being represented. It is possible that women of color are depicted in a better light in these TV shows because they were created by an African American writer. However, there needs to be more TV shows where people of color are casted because of their talents and not because they need someone for the color of their skin or their ethnicity. This is important because sexual depictions of women is damaging to the younger generations of women growing up with only these representations to look up to. Young women will grow up thinking that they have to act in the manner that women are presented in media. This gives them a false image of what is acceptable in society, which would force them to conform to the representation or feel as they do not belong. Improvements can be made and should be made so that this portrayal of women of color as sexual objects is not the image that little girls look up to.